White opens with, "I'm tired of this," clearly fed up with something, but we just don't know what. This book moves leaves questions for both us and Black, keeping the game entertaining, which is all we want. Black hits back with, "Tired of what?" giving White their desired response in a forced move. They could have just fallen for a trap, but based on most tech chess players, it's safe to assume White would be smart enough to pull off any crazy shenanigans. "You don't talk to me, you shut me out when you're in a bad mood or in your head, and I'm tired of convincing you that this relationship is working because obviously it isn't if you have any doubts about it every month." White delivers their first blow of the match, taking a valuable piece off Black in nothing short of an excellent move. "Get out your popcorn, guys, because this is about to get entertaining." White replies with, "You are a great girl. I really truly do enjoy being friends with you, and I want to make sure that being friends continues. I just feel that this time we've spent apart has made me feel further from you rather than closer, and I've really come to the reality that I want to be friends with you for the rest of my life because I love being your friend, but I just don't like the romantic side of a relationship is ever going to be what either of us wants." Holy yap, I guess it's a serious conversation, all but bro is doing way too much, and that's why this is a mistake. See, Black has the right idea, as they simply reply with the two letters O and K in a brilliant move. There's no messing around here, and it doesn't take the opponent to smash their head into their keyboard from tiredness. Take notes. Next, White starts with the traditional opening move of "Hey, blank," greeting their opponent like a good sportsman and signaling the start of the game with a book move. They then expand on this with, "I gotta get something off my chest, so I'll just say it. I have had a crush on you for a while, and you know how they say better late than never? I just simply want to ask, do you want to go out sometime? Like maybe the movies, because I think they're great. If I got paid $1 for every time I've received a message like this from a girl, I'd run Jeff Bezos to the ground, and trust me, this opening never works. It's corny and lacks confidence because why would you ask over text? Just speak to them in real life. Touch grass. Definitely a mistake." Black hits back with, "Hey Marcus, I think it's really nice of you to say that, but I just don't think we know each other that well, and I haven't thought of you like that. I'm sorry, but we can be friends if you like." Damn, that is brutal. Getting rejected is hard enough, but being asked to be friends is the icing on the cake, and it hurts so much. Not that I've ever felt it. I just know because of, a friend. The defensive play shuts down White's entire attack in a great move and sets up an opportunity to go on the offense. That'd be nice. I'd like that. I appreciate you told the plain truth, and I guess it was worth a shot, but hey, you're right, we don't really know each other that well, and also movies are still on the table if you're interested as a friend, of course, smiling face. White responds with an excellent move, setting up a trap to get the Huz to go on the date. You and I both know that he does not want to go to the movies as friends, but there's nothing wrong with her believing him. Falling for the trap, Black says, "Yeah, maybe sometimes," smiling face, falling face first into the gambit like a moth flying towards a light source. This absolute blunder secures her fate as White's girlfriend and allows him to checkmate her with ease. Anyone attending the cinema in the next few weeks should stay clear of the bathrooms because who knows what shenanigans this duo will be getting up to. As friends, of course. Next, "I wish I had a boyfriend who liked the same music as me" is White's goofy opening that could either become the Pick Me Gambit or the Riz opening. For the sake of me wanting to insult someone, I'm going to assume they're paying the Pick Me Gambit because this is on another level of begging for it. Just directly asking them if they're interested in you, there's no point hedging around the facts and dropping subtle hints like shared music taste. Mistake. Black responds with, "You have a great taste in music, haha. Don't you like Tame Impala?" dropping his first offensive move by threatening White's backline troops with a great move. This instantly shows the Huz that he is the one for her and they can listen to Tame Impala during Devil's Tango. Like maybe not the second part, but you get the point. White simply says so much, not really doing much and letting Black guide the conversation. I'm grading this a good move because it's important to figure out what your opponent before making crazy plays sometimes, and you can tell this is exactly what White is trying to do. I've seen him live twice. Doubling down on the Riz, Black says an excellent move in response, hoping that this confirms to White that they don't like the same music, they love the same music. It also opens many opportunities for White to start rizzing back because all it really takes is, let's make it 3 together, and boom, you have 3 Tame Impala babies. Instead though, White replies, "See, this is what I mean. I need a you," which seems like a marriage will happen one day until who isn't you? Plot twist of the century in absolute cinema. Despite being brutal, you need to be brutal to win games of chess, which is why this is a brilliant move. Black might never recover from this, and David Goggins just got another subscriber. What better time to start the grind than December? Next, White opens with, "So, do you actually want to hang out again?" kicking things off with a book move, asking a simple closed question to get the game going. Black snaps back with, "I do actually, but I don't know if in a dating capacity. If you're interested in getting to know each other as friends primarily, I'm down. The only rejection of a lifetime, but also keeping things nice, which you have to respect." This response goes down as a parry, which is a new move for avoiding something, and in this instance, Black has avoided dating a probable gooner. And I kind of already have plenty of friends, is White's response, to which I have to say, beggars can't be choosers. If you're going to DM a girl trying to get a date and she has to be friends, just say yes or no. Don't try to change the outcome because that's how people end up on the register. Mistake. Next, White asks, hey, can we talk about us creating a boring start to the game and a definite boring move? I've seen videos from Morgs in his prime that entertain me more than this, which says a lot, but hey, first moves tend to be boring, so I'll let White off the hook. Black hits back with, what's up bestie, in a book move, simply advancing a pawn forward and waiting for White to make the first big play of the game. Patience is certainly key and Black is putting this into use well, so there isn't really anything bad I can say. I just really want to be more than friends. White advances with their first defensive move, trying to secure the bag, but this is really corny. This is the type of player to ironically say ooh after a move, and I'm honestly in shock that they didn't in this blunder. I defend the idea of White making their move, but at least make it rizzy. In response, Black replies, what do you mean, bestie? Acting oblivious, but there's absolutely no way they don't understand what is being implied by White here. I can't really blame them though, because I'd pretend to have no idea if someone like White tried to make a move like that on me too. Either that or I'm smacking that block button. I'm ranking this an excellent move. White plays, why are you doing that? Clearly pissed off at Black's use of the word bestie, but confrontation is just embarrassing and a blunder. If the indirect rejection wasn't enough, then this puts the icing on the cake for White's shame, and I can assure you any ancestors of his looking down are covering their eyes with their hands right now. Fortunately for them, it can only get better from here. Doing what, bestie? Black continues to use the supposedly forbidden word for the sole purpose of rage bait, and considering White's reaction so far, this rage bait trap will work as a treat, making it a brilliant move. Finally choosing to not fall for it, White responds with message received indicating that they should understand things won't work out and resigning the match before things get any worse for them. There are always more fish in the sea, and White chooses the right time to let this one free. Next, White posts a Snapchat story saying, yo, my boyfriend is so abusive, heartbroken emoji, alerting their entire Snapchat network of this issue. Of course, it's great to tell people, but there's a pretty high chance this guy has her added on Snapchat though, so this might not be the best way to do it and a miss. Black does the only right human thing and replies with, are you okay, checking up on a potential victim with the best move. There are honestly no flaws with this, and if you think there is, then you're probably a wife beater yourself. Although I really do like wearing wife beaters, I look pretty damn hot in whatever I wear. Anyway, I have a boyfriend, stop texting me, is White's outrageous response because who the actual says this to someone just trying to help? Seeking help on your Snapchat story is bound to make people help you, as crazy as that sounds, but treating the people who do like this won't get you anywhere. Black replies with question mark, I hope he beat yo ass again, dropping a completely valid crash out and a great move. This checkmates their opponent and ends in misery. Jokes aside, I hope Kayla's okay, but if she isn't, she kinda did it to herself. Next, White explains, I'm getting excited pulling it out. Whoa, I hope this doesn't mean what I think it means. They continue with, I'm still here to chat, so when do you want to watch our show? I don't know how these three messages link together, but they have been, so we move, I guess. This is a book move simply because I have no idea what the hell to make of it. Black asks, when can you watch it? Hoping to make a time for them to watch a show and putting in equal effort, which might show that these two could work out. What a breath of fresh air from the other games and a good move. I wonder what show they're going to watch together, although I'm pretty sure they won't be watching it actively for more than 5 minutes, if you know what I mean. White says, after supper, I'm doing beef dips and onion rings with 6 or 7 M's, including a fun fact in their great move, developing a few powerful pieces while entering the mid-game. I could really eat some onion rings right now. Is it only me who uses them instead of donuts when I'm doing the stack thing? Yeah, okay, I'll move on. Okay, short and sweet is the best way to describe this boring move from Black, but at least they use the explanation point to show a bit of excitement. They still don't match the energy of White though. White shows this by playing, yay, it's a date, love eyes emoji, lol. Clearly they are an eager beaver, but I have a feeling this might be their downfall. As a certified dating expert, according to literally everyone, coming across way too eager just makes the opponent want to resign the match. This is why this is a blunder with nothing else needing to be said. Black hits back with a best friend appointment, confirming my theory in a brilliant move, but this was a harsh way to execute it. The move creates a fork between White's queen and king, confirming the loss of their queen and making it very likely they go on to lose the game. Smiling emoji. Yeah, bro's cooked. White plays a good move, accepting defeat and resigning the game. You can't blame him. Next, White starts with, oh well, just making sure. BTW, rember when I came up with my decision because I said I would, throwing us into what seems like the middle of a game, which I can't complain with because the early game can be boring as hell anyways. This good move simply sets up an offensive move for their next play. Black replies, and it is, playing a force move to uncover what choice their opponent has made, which is kind of pissing me off because we don't even know what the decisions are about. Whoever screenshotted this and cut out the context deserves both sides of their pillow to be warm, and their room magically fills with Legos on every centimeter, so they keep stepping in it. Yes, I did say centimeter. White finally reveals the context and plays, I just want to be friends, sorry. I only see you like a brother to me, sorry. Okay, asking me friends is bad enough, but saying you see them as a brother is pure evil. I don't think there's a worse response to a love confession that someone can send, but for all purposes of winning the game, it's an excellent move. I can't think of a better way to put Black down in the dumps. Black explains, LOL, I don't think so, DW about it, taking it like a champ, but also kind of being a pick-me. There was no need in saying I didn't think so, because it's obviously a lie, because making the move shows they had some belief. That's why this is an inaccuracy, and that's quite a kind rating compared to what I should have said. Next, hey, smiling face, would you want to go out again once you are a bit more settled in the new spot and with work? White reaches out to an old partner with a great move, choosing everything for her and making sure it's easy as possible for her to say yes. Black replies with, I would like to, but I think it would be best if we kept it as friends. You're really considerate and cool, but I think taking it further in that direction would be good, popping and deflating White's balloon, and more likely his too. You can't help but feel bad for him, but at least White was nice about it with a good move. White hits back saying, oh, okay, well, bummer, but I can respect it. Mind if I ask why? Keeping things nice and respectful, but playing amiss, because why the hell would you ask someone why? All it will do is make them feel shit about themselves, because the reason isn't going to be positive, is it? As a whole, in this move, it does kill White's confidence going into other games, and they've done it to themselves. Black hits back with, I think there was compatibility in everyday interactions, but I think we have fundamentally different outlooks on life. You've got a lot more positivity and optimism than myself. I think it's important to compliment, but I think there's too big of a gulf, that type of general outlook, to the point that there will be clashes. And the honesty has to be respected here, but there was a massive chance for checkmate that Black completely ignored. All they had to do was, drop a few insults, but instead they played ethically rather than to win, making it an inaccuracy. Kindness is not rewarded in text chess because it's boring. White plays, fair enough, I appreciate the honesty, and in response keeping things simple and choosing to end the game in a stalemate, which is the only right result for a match like this. No player deserved the win, but equally none of them deserved to lose, so as a stalemate makes the most sense. What also makes way more sense is you joining my Discord with the link in the description, though, to submit any games you want to see in videos. Next, I'm sorry, I should stop texting, I got it right, okays for real, is White's opening, choosing to play the midlife crisis gambit. Bro sounds like he's in the trenches, and I would literally want to be any other player in this video except this guy. Get him some antidepressants or some shit after this blunder. Black apologizes back by playing, sorry, it's just that you started liking me at the wrong time, slanted face emoji, which is such a traditional lie that White would have to be as dense as a black hole to believe it. The perfect soulmate doesn't need to come at the right time to be perfect. I know that's bars, someone quote it. For real though, this inaccuracy hides the truth and should not be hard to see through. Yeah, IKNOIRGNIG, good night. If something isn't wrong with this White player, then I will start an OnlyFans because I'm certain there is. Definitely not just, an excuse to pursue my dreams. I am so confused as to why they couldn't condense this into, one message, but whatever suits them, I guess. It's still a mistake though. Black starts an attack by playing, we can still be friends, blue heart emoji, putting out the same offer that all the Huzz do when rejecting an opponent, and you and I both know they do not want to be friends. The simple aim of this excellent move is to make White feel better about themselves and offer them something else to keep peace. Unfortunately though, White is not peaceful and responds with ew, hava, and as much as it would be easy to grade this a mistake, it's a good move because this requires some next level respect. He understands that being friends is just a way to keep peace and will be awkward no matter what, so he shuts down the situation as quickly as possible. Black hits back with, we can't all get what we want, and we can't all spell either, with this inaccuracy proving that. A weak ending to a strong game from Black results in White surprisingly winning the match. Next, so you want to have fun, wink and face? What is a text chess video without a D1 Gooner using the Gooner Gambit, and White mistakes the game with exactly that. This gambit almost never ends well for the user, but sometimes the opponent turns it into a freak too. Unlucky for White though, this is not the case, and Black asks, are we going to play with some Legos or what? Which is honestly putting up a proposition with a great move that I will definitely accept if White resists. That's if the Legos are paid for, because brick inflation has to be studied. Sets cost like triple the price they did when I was a kid back in 1924. Trying to further imply what they actually meant by fun, White plays, I was thinking of something more adult, winking face, like an absolute cornball. Luckily enough, we do actually have a move analysis for that note, so I'm gonna use it. Cornball move. And all it does is invite more pressure from Black, which could lead to an eventual cost for our goofy White player. Black states, oh my god, we're gonna do taxes, rage baiting their opponent to the absolute maximum with a brilliant move, pinning the queen to White's knight with a piece defending it from being captured. The move works a treat too because White resigns the game out of sheer rage so they can play a move suitable player, because this one clearly isn't into adult stuff. Next, White says here in a very boring move, doing absolutely nothing for the game and more importantly, nothing for our entertainment. I mean, what more is there to say? Black responds a few hours later with, good session today and great to see you. I'll send those notes either tomorrow or Monday for the exercises. P.S. Betas pay for coffee. It's our place, okay? This good move reveals that they just had a training session together, and I don't know about you, but I've seen more than enough videos on the hub where personal trainers turn into cardio machines. Ages ago, of course. I'd never watched such degenerate content nowadays, I promise. Also, how's it beta to pay for coffee? If anything, it's the exact opposite, but yeah, oh well. White then plays, thank you, I really enjoyed it. I'm actually looking forward to getting into the gym and getting going. 3 laughing emojis. I feel like the least I could do was get you a coffee. Hope the leadership session went well. Most of the time I rip apart any attempt at Riz in this channel, but for once I've seen someone play a great move while chop and drop game. It shows that bro has money because of the coffee, discipline because of the gym, and kindness because he wished that a good leadership session, whatever the hell one of those are. On a whole, this player actually stands a chance. I know, but I like paying, hehe, felt nice and beta. It went well, thank you. Black plays along with the Riz and reveals that they want to be the beta male in this relationship, which is interesting to say the least. Of course, people have their interests, but stuff like this needs to stay quiet, which is why this is a miss. Not everything has to be shared, you know. Luckily enough for them, though, White is into it and says good boy, asserting their dominance over the opponent and guaranteeing a win with a brilliant move. To put the icing on the cake, Black likes the message, accepts submission, and losing the game. I hated reading every sentence of that. Next, White explains how I ended up getting home late my B. Look, I know you said you let's just be friends, but I don't know. Playing a dastardly blunder and showing that they're more than down bad than people who search for how to get a girl on WikiHow. Getting rejected once is bad enough, but going in for a second attempt is just doing it to yourself, bro. Women aren't just gonna magically change their mind overnight, especially not for players like this. Confused, Black asks, what does this mean? And I don't know anyone who thinks they're fooling, but there's no way they don't know what this means. I've never seen a more obvious attempt at dodging a gooner than this, making it a miss, but if the gooner's stupid, then the move instantly works. I'm not entirely sure that's the issue, laughing emoji. It's just rare someone has romantic interest in me unless you completely turn it off after the other day, but then that's cool. White gives a fun fact to their opponent in a harmful mistake because the huzz does not need to know that it's rare someone finds romantic interest in you. Let's be real though, it's not the most surprising thing we've heard in this video. Black hits back with, yeah I did. I prefer people to be sure about me, rejecting White straight up this time instead of playing dumb. Sometimes it has to be like that, and you can't fault Black for being what your average guy would label as mean. Whatever it takes to get a desperate classmate off your back, good move. White takes the L and replies, word, never mind, avoiding the mission in a good move. Accepting defeat is something that only the most noble of men can do in the Riz fields, although it wouldn't surprise me if they go in for a third attempt the next day. They already have a proven track record for doing so. Next, White claims, I only friend-zoned you because you're too perfect. Alright, who the f*** are you kidding? It's nice giving your opponent a confidence boost and all, but this is just straight bullshit and an inaccuracy. If our White player was Pinocchio, their nose would be longer than my third leg, and trust me, it is long as hell. It is at least 2 or 3 millimeters, maybe, 6 or 7. Black responds with loads of dots, and then that makes no sense. And speaking for all of us, yes, you and me. I feel bad for Black because they know this is a lie and probably feel like shit now, and it can be easily seen as mockery. A good move is played here, setting up a promising position for attacks and calling out an evident bullshitter. White explains themselves by saying, you'd make a better husband than boyfriend, and I wanted to keep you around until the time was right. If we ever dated and broke up, I'd hate to lose you forever. And they follow up with, all girls keep the good ones around until the time is right. Okay, so not only have they lied to Black, but now they're making it out like he has a chance in the future. This is a type of evil that has not been seen since 1945 and honestly warrants a ban from text chess. Black chooses to block their opponent after succumbing to such nasty moves, and I applaud him. He can take the elo on this one. Next, White asks, so what are we? Showing their confusion in this situation and communicating it in a book move. Not much else I can really say. Black hits back with WYM, giving a drier response in the Sahara, but in their defense, if they don't understand that there's nothing wrong, it's asking for an elaboration. All this move does is move their pawn at the front of the game in a D1 book move. Like last night was a date, right? White decides to go all in and asks the question that decides their fate in the dating universe. All their confidence comes down to Black's response, and he is 1 yes away from becoming a legend in the boys group chat. That's assuming Black sees it as a date though. Black replies, not really. Damn, I'm not even white, but I can feel the pain and it hurts bad. I'm not talking about race, by the way, I am in fact white. This great move captures a piece of high value from White and puts Black up on material, making the rest of the game look promising for them. It's a steep climb for our White player, but he may be a good climber. White responds with, so friends, deciding to step down like the beta male they are. I thought we were about to see an elite level of defense, but instead we have to witness a soldier slowly falling after playing this blunder. Black isn't an idiot and understands that White is just trying to stay with a chance of bagging her, so he replies with, and 2 letters have never conveyed so much meaning. The simplicity of this trophy move is incomprehensible to the average player of text chess and captures the opponent's rook while also guaranteeing the capture of their queen. Damn, won't even let me have that. The pain sinks into white as they realize their chances of victory have gone into the negatives, and I'm honestly surprised they haven't resigned the match. I do kind of have respect for it though, because they're letting black secure the checkmate, and they deserve just for that. It can be a good move. Black deals the final blow with associates peace emoji, delivering a checkmate in a beautiful style, and as much as it was painful for white, it was equally deserved, so I don't feel bad one bit. Next, white kicks off the game by saying, ha ha ha, that's funny, laughing emoji, I wasn't even wearing makeup today, female emoji, and I assume she received a compliment based on this move, despite us spectators not being given any context. Accepting the compliment is definitely a good move, and you have to respect it. Black replies, well hey, they have good taste at least, winking emoji, confusing the living f*** out of me because who has done the compliment here? We've been thrown into the middle of a game here, and it's confusing me, you know that when I get confused it's bad. For this reason alone, it's an inaccuracy. White plays, haha, I know right, licking lips emoji, taking the compliment in a weird way to say the least. I'm not sure about you, but I don't tend to lick my lips when I get compliments off a girl. This probably creeps the hell out of black and is a mistake, but nothing fatal, and they still have a chance at winning. Yup, so how's your day going, beautiful? Tongue stick out emoji. Black hits back with some even more creepy riz, and I feel like I'm watching Love on the Spectrum after this mistake. I'm not sure where these players got their tongue obsessions from, but I'm not all for it. It's weird. 100% weird. I'd never be like that. I promise. Trust me. White responds with, it's good. Do you need me to walk you back? Ripping the flagell masculinity of black apart because it's typically meant to be the other way around. This excellent move captures the first piece of the value in this game and forces black to go on the defense. By force, black replies, walk me back, in a forced move, defending the attack in a flimsy way, which invites white to attack again by leaving a piece hanging. Spotting the opportunity, white swoops in and explains, back to that friend zone you just tried to escape from, happy face, dealing a brutal checkmate with a brilliant move. Rejections don't come smoother than this, and black will never recover from the wound left after this game. It might be time for them to retire from text chess for good and delete their account. Next, white sends a kissing emoji in a move that can only be described with two words, book move. Choosing to completely mirror the move rather than having some independence, black moves the same pawn as white did by sending a kissing emoji in return. They basically just completed an e-kiss, and we are sitting in a chair matching it happen live. Book move. White returns, you're the best, honestly you're one of my best friends, giving us a plot twist of the century, which is absolute cinema at its finest and a great move. You tell me that we just witnessed two people kiss each other virtually just for them to be friends? There's no way these two don't share some kind of benefits of some kind. Black hits back with you too, mirroring the move again, and I'm starting to think this is a hive mind rather than two individual players who knew we've been watching the literal upside down play a game of text chess. Anyway, this is a mistake because copying your opponent's move once is already bad, but 2 times in a row is just new behavior. Learn to think for yourself. Wait, when you get married, can the bride choose the best man, or is that the groom's job? If I get to choose the goons or the groomsmen and you're the best man, is White's response, I don't think they understand how weddings work after this inaccuracy. Everyone knows the best man is the husband's choice as they literally stand beside one another. Next, White opens the game with, hey, the truth is I have a crush on you, 2 cute tears welling emojis, admitting their feelings in a traditional book move because every girl has been told this word for word before. Its success rate has to be below 10 as unoriginal men are undateable men, and that's a fact. Black clearly doesn't give a f*** and replies OMG, evoking their emotions in a way that only YouTube apology videos can appear more fake than. You'll never catch me lacking making one of those. I do not regret anything I ever do. This good move has the decency to respond and moves upon in return, advancing the game naturally. Choosing to be equally as blunt, White sends a nervous emoji, clearly anxious that the lack of yes means she doesn't like him back. He is well aware that he's cooked, and his odds of bagging the huzz are next to 0, so we better hope he hasn't told the group boys chat about the prospect yet. In short, this move is a means of accepting defeat, and in turn gets labeled as a mistake. Sorry, but you are too caring and too loving for me that I thought you as a father. What the fuck is this? Never in a million years did I expect to come face to face with desired gambit, but here we are. Even though these two players aren't actually dating, it's still weird as hell for Black to compare White to a literal father, and it's no other than a criminal move. Adding a comedic effect to this insane message, White asks, did I just get father zoned? Crying emoji in a great move, and you know what? I'd be just as baffled. Imagine going on a date with someone and instead of getting rejected, they claim to see you as a father figure. If that figure isn't daddy in bed, then I'd want to be out of that joint ASAP. Not really, daddy, winking emoji. As if I predicted it, Black reveals that they are not actually a weirdo and just want to get D-freaky, which is completely okay and a brilliant move. Who am I to deter a potential couple from doing a little meet and jeet together? It's how we were all born at the end of the day. Just like the meme at the bottom of the screen says, they had us in the first half. Even lower down the screen though is the subscribe button, so you should scroll down and click it. Also, make sure to visit textchess.store in the description to look at the clothes that increase your chances with ladies, men, or whatever you're into. Next, White starts with, hey, thanks for everything last night, and I'm really happy you said that we could be friends still. It's something I'd really like to continue to be friends. Like those dates we had, I thought we had good chemistry. Do you want to have lunch tomorrow? Sympathy emoji. Players like these are the most desperate creatures on the planet because you should respect yourself more than to basically beg to eat dinner with someone who sees you as a friend. It's so bait that this is just a way to get a second chance with the girl too, and a definite mistake. Black responds with, "Hey blank, hope all is well. I can't have lunch tomorrow. I mentioned last night that I'm flying to the East Coast for 2 weeks to see family and friends. And yes, we can be friends like I said, but we just saw each other last night, so that's a pretty quick turnaround, no?" Black plays a great move here, keeping things defensive but showing that they have the moves in a tank to attack if they feel like it. However, they've missed out on free lunch, which is always a negative. I'd go on a date with a demogorgon if it meant they paid for my food, and if it's not aggressive towards me, of course. And I mean, what that mouth do? Anyway, oh right, sorry I forgot, laughing emoji. White explains themselves for their mistake, but it was really a mistake. It's not that hard to remember that someone is not going to be here for 2 weeks the following day, and for me it sounds like White really thought she'd cancel the flight for him. It's definitely a bad move, but I've seen worse, so I'll grade it as an inaccuracy. Black replies, "LOL okay," showing they have no interest in their opponent with a good move. Be safe kissing emoji, like have a safe flight I mean, LOL. There's absolutely no need to explain what that meant. I'm starting to think White is acoustic. They continue with, "Text me when you land safely. Flying can be stressful," nervous emoji, crying emoji. "Sorry, pocket dialed you. What airline are you flying? I'll be able to track the flight to make sure you're okay. I hope you landed safely," sympathy emoji. Okay, this is way too many moves and definitely against the rules, but for White's sake, I guess I'll let it slide. As a collective, this is a blunder because White couldn't make it any more obvious that they're dying for something. You and I both know that pocket dial was not in fact a pocket dial, and he likely regretted that call after thinking it might be a bit too much. Yeah, it certainly was. Black plays, "I landed. It took me a while to get my rental car. Look, I know you come from a good place in your messages, but you really don't have to constantly message me as if we're in a relationship. I need a little bit of space, you know what I mean." Calling their opponent out like an absolute girl boss and a brilliant move. Setting boundaries was the best outcome possible, and hopefully White listens despite that being boring for us. Unluckily, White hits back with, "I'm just being a nice and caring friend," sad emoji, claiming innocence when I'd argue Prime Belle Delphine can be described as more innocent. Yet another inaccuracy. Black responds with, "I appreciate the thoughtfulness, but just the rate of messages you send so frequently is honestly overwhelming me. I really don't want to be mean saying this, I hope you understand." In a peaceful way, White sends their boundaries once more, and I'm pretty sure this shit is about to go downhill if White doesn't comply. Good move. White responds with, "You're like every other guy on Bumble. Gaslighting me, making me feel like I'm crazy. You take advantage of me, I suck your dick on our second date, and we and then 1 month later, you throw me away like a piece of trash because you got your fix without giving me a chance for a real relationship. Typical." After a crazy plot twist, I'm on White's side now because you can't really a girl and run away. I mean, most of your dads probably did, but that isn't the point. To slightly defend Black though, if you meet up with someone from Bumble, you probably do deserve it. Still a good move for calling Black out though. Now forced to defend, Black hits back with, "What? We went on like 8 dates and really tried to give everything between us a fair chance to see if it would lead anywhere. I never want to take advantage of anybody. I don't know why you were saying this stuff now." And now we have a proper fist argument, which we all came here to see. A great move from Black completely defends White's push, but doesn't create any attack for itself, which is why it isn't the best move possible. White explains, "You're full of shit. You're probably already swiping right on new girls. I feel bad for them. What's so funny is you're gonna regret breaking up with me. You know how many guys are lining up for me? I can't wait to fuck a real man for once. A man that's a real gentleman. Who's that flat cheek in your Instagram story? Is she your girlfriend? Have you been cheating on her? I wonder what she's gonna think if I told her that I sucked her BF's pig. No girl is ever going to make you feel as good as I made you feel. You're going to come crawling back to me, moron. I have fun with East Coast trash. I honestly dodged a bullet with you. Misogynist that only cares about is what you are. F you, gaslighting freak." It might just be me, but I think White is going a little angry. The attack throws all composure out the window and just outright goes crazy, throwing punches like KSI in 2021. Other than its total recklessness, it definitely does a lot of damage, making it an excellent move, but it equally invites some blows back. Black strikes with, "This is harassment at this point. Stop messaging me. Stop lurking on my social media accounts and following my friends. I'm not gaslighting you. I'm not taking advantage of you. I wasn't cheating on you. You are the only person I went on dates with in a while, and honestly, my experiences with you have made me take a break from dating altogether. I hope you find some peace in life and find some help." Obviously, we can't separate truth from lies, but for that sole insult at the end, this checkmates the opponent. Telling White to find peace would have been a stalemate, but saying find some help is a crazy jab. I wouldn't want to get in a pickle with this player, but I would want to watch some more text chess if I was you, so click the playlist on screen for more.